keep themselves in the lead here and just take energy down with this aim.
Okay.
These shots, getting these 2K, 3K rounds on the lurks of Marines.
I will say though, I do like the Raze addition against this comp. Like I do like when they go for the plant over towards here and you can have the Raze nade on defense that stops it all. Like I do like that. As much as it's just more a general question.
Similar things on the attack too, playing this double controller.
Yep.
Cascade up. Then you have Flash trying to clear up behind the pillar, and also
MIBR on defense, NRG on attack. 3-pass and push over towards A, so they might have good timing. We'll see.
A very aggressive flank now for MIBR. As you have a comp at least here for NRG that could play that pulse.
They're gonna have an overwhelm. How many can Victor get?
Snake bites. There's great opportunities to play off-site at long.
They might think they've owned it with the turret here.
Just Victor by himself. Getting that first. Victor.
Yeah, he did great. He did so well. Good reactional push here though.
Patient play from MIBR, thinking that NRG was going to re-aggress out there. And now RG.
You got a cove.
Trying to regain
oh yeah, that's a shot.
Frenzy on a
yeah, the cove against the sheriff. Oh, it's disgusting.
Be heaven. As the cove comes out to spray onto the frenzy, but there's almost no time. Som's playing this perfectly.
That's nice. Hey, you played that well. Okay. Genasi, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you.
Surely you don't get 2 classic kills on 3 that are coming at you. Absolutely incredible play.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
Big, important
3
part
months
to get those impact frags for the retake. And stops the main flank. As you said, the aggressive 3-person flank coming in. Got a banana clip in that classic or something. I don't know. And really nicely played here by Som. Little ring around the rosy, cat and mouse on the
yeah, he did good. They kind of baited off the turret being down. They felt like they had a good timing, so they kind of swung out a lot heavier.
Right.
Victor played it perfectly there behind control.
Come flying
in terms of how they're approaching this one. So full buy, so they got 3 rifles, so they're allowed 2 deaths really.
And Finesse now moves up. And here comes the shots from the sheriff. There's going to be so much info now on the 3 players, but the spike has fallen.
That's the spike.
Upgrades now coming out and looking to get picked up at least towards the boxes. As the nanoswarm clears them away.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Artist gets the wall bang onto RGL.
This is manic. He tried to get another gun to his mate.
High Tide Indeed's about to come down right here. And as it comes down, he gets the first.
Hey, no matter what happens, good damage.
Fra now with this Spectre.
Nice. Nicely done. Respects Crashies.
A gamble stack towards the A site that makes it very expensive here for NRG.
That was huge by MIBR, especially. It was kind of a late hit too. They allowed NRG to feel like the Cascade, the Flash didn't find anybody, and then they surged into
insane
the
damage. Right, we just skipped the bonus round. We go straight to the swing round.
Nicely done playing on
That's
the
how much damage they did.
Still able to find the win there. Buys around.
Okay, Artist has a judge. I tell you what though, if he gets into elbow, this might just win the round.
Not thinking about anything else, but yeah, low armor is okay with the Vandals.
Artist.
He is obviously going to be finding that operator in a few rounds, and we'll see
if
MIBR can get activated.
Who told him to get rid of that? I was excited.
An expensive round indeed for NRG to invest in here, but this orb super important for some. Reckoning to open up the site potentially, then you play the long range because we saw Guardians in the hands of Crashies.
We got some U2 over here to stop the plant.
Reckoning not getting any pings towards anywhere towards the site. Coved in for the plant.
Spike planted.
Molly's in the rest. Artist still going forward.
Towards that B-Link.
He's won the round. He's literally won the round.
He's gonna get shot down by Som. Not gonna spot too much. Vulnerable by Snake, but big flash now. As Frog gets 2 kills, Artist on the backstab for the B-Link.
Why did I talk?
But it comes down to those 2 players that we mentioned before.
Still pretty good though. Double molly on this one.
Nanoswarm down on 2. Victor still has potentially lineups here with the snake bites. The first one comes down. The Guardian for the first kill. And it's up to Victor on a 2 versus 1. Who does get that pick onto FRZ.
Yeah. Nicely done. Good good B hits.
Saves, and it's NRG with 3.
You wonder how the economy will work here. The rounds look good, but this may be a pressure buy here from NRG, and MIBR will be feeling the same. That gives them a bit of money to go back in. Now they'll be fine being able to throw weapons around. So NRG feeling good after that buy. We'll see this one more time. I thought Artis's push over onto B-Link was just too strong for him, right?
Yeah.
It's knowing the team can then focus the rest of how MIBR is coming in without having to worry about one of the most impactful areas of a re-entry. They're setting themselves up for success on the side of NRG right now. Marshals bought up here for MIBR. And the NRG just moving forward. That delay was necessary because it does not look like W will stop being held by NRG this round.
And Trailblazer 2 being set down. Alarm bot not being used by
my
gosh. Into this round. They want to save that.
This is nice on their like against the
Not
ecos as well.
too much
Just
here.
I think they're trying to just make it look like they're doing something different, and then maybe for the full buy again they'll go back into this. We'll keep an eye on it, but it's what it feels a little bit like.
Gets picked off. Artist looking to
That is a gun down,
not
and they want to fight for it. Oh, that's a lot of guns down. Oh my god.
Numbers on this initiator roll this time as a Sky.
They really didn't want them to get that gun.
Now by MIBR into the late round.
That initial energy control looked amazing.
Did we get a Sky flash over here?
All the way up the middle
At
of the
one
map.
point?
It's the moment they
keep an
turn
eye on it.
around at B-Link, all of them get taken down. So unsure why they wanted to give that space back up. We did see the spike was
Okay,
dropped,
maybe they're just gonna
which is
let
why
them
this
plant
late
and then go
round
for the
is going
guns.
Back towards
30
B.
seconds left.
It's going to be a tough hold here. 4v2.
Yeah.
But it is a shorty and a sheriff
Oh.
on the other side.
Locked down in. They're looking for the second one. The flick back gets it.
No
Back into the
way.
to break it. It's a 2
Victor
versus
might
2.
have just hero
Snake
played
bite
this.
into the B-Link. The awareness out of this player coming out from Victor is amazing. The attacker killjoy will allow Victor to reposition down towards the back of the B halls, especially with the toxic screen coming up. Flash now, full blind, it's up to 1. JZZ with a 4th into the round. Crashy's making it a 1 versus 1. JZZ.
Damn, okay, they managed to win that. Nice decision making in the 1v2.
It keeps going down to 1, but it just looks like NRG is not in a position to lose.
Yeah,
these
insane 2v4.
situations.
I mean,
3
they
rounds
both
now.
did
Victor
great.
having some
Like they
outstanding
both
plays
did so
to
well.
turn MIBR right on their head.
The old
Solo
school
double
duo
kill
coming
there.
in.
Moving into
Still
the
got it.
destruction of the lockdown, just instant thought process, right? It's not even giving the other team a moment to think. And it's
Yeah,
a good
Victor
push.
did the fast
Knowing
bit.
It was the Marshal and the shorty.
Damn.
You might find a Phantom who plays that game, and he plays it well. Crashy's to be able to pull up on that clutch to bring 4 for NRG here, and they go back to A, work this orb.
Sometimes you got to gamble for those, and it works out. Heat now with an op, a second flash to come out to fight back. Just trying to get a shot before he dashes away, trying to get a lucky one through the cascade. But now it's a showstopper. Artist looking to clear space. Early shot. Oh my god, Heat gets one through, finally onto the high side. Heat now.
Spike planted.
Pit now comes out, sorry. As Artist at least.
What the
yes,
hell
has
is
fallen
going
under,
on?
But has created that space to allow NRG to play
Damn,
that
these
post
shots are
flank.
close.
Travelers are out on the attack, on the defense, on the retake. Snake fight to also stop any players from running down. It's only 1 tap onto the spike. Still 1 more snake fight available here for Victor. Just threw it down. Here comes the heal. Flash does not affect players. It's a 1-for-1 there. And it's Marie still fighting back.
Holy hell.
And unfortunately here for the rest of NRG, they got wowed
Chat,
by MIBR
imagine, right? Yeah, you don't understand Valorant. You've never seen Valorant before, and this is the first and only round that you've ever watched.
It helped a little bit too, so they could keep swarming that choke.
It would be the
Nicely done
most
by
mental
MIBR.
thing
They
ever.
really only
Like,
had
what
one
is
choice
this
there
round?
once they identified that nobody was art, nobody was in the extremities for this flank.
Yeah,
And
you
that was
honestly,
actually
you
one
would.
of the tougher rounds
You
to
would,
win.
you would
So
just
they
look at
pushed
this and be
through a
like,
big
what
ultimate
the
use
hell
from
am I
NRG
watching?
there. Showstopper coming out, Viper's Pit coming out. So things may be on the up and up here for MIBR. They have their own ultimate to use for Marie's, but that operator now for Heat set up on screens at Long B.
Well, A failed.
And this mid play. This is the second time they've done this. They leave Artis up to get
Think
that
we
first
even know what
frag,
that
and
means.
This time takes a lot of damage in a flash.
Here.
Thankfully, though, at least it pushed back the defender FRC back towards Vines. The spray
Nice,
coming through control.
Nice comms coming in.
JZZ,
Did
man.
someone's cross?
What a call. Heat's like, I see
Pretty
a
sure they
head
saw the
here
head the
on my
whole
ping.
time.
great little comms teamwork there.
Yeah,
Identifying
it was
the
a good ping
position.
as well as to where he roughly was.
Oh, Jake, what a smart trailblazer too. They're reading so well right now where energy could be.
He shot it so early that they definitely have to think there's someone around the corner.
Even repositions, ready for a flash. Should there be pressure coming out from energy out towards B-Link. But things stay quiet into the round. Energy trying to hopefully catch somebody off guard. Trying to punish a mistake off a rotate. You heard that turret being placed down towards the spawn. Every angle is currently being watched now by MIBR. So NRG decides to move into the B site. High tide coming out on the defense.
Savior.
Set up towards the back of the B site.
Last player standing.
Man, double harbor, double viper is just mad to watch.
Finesse is trying to do more econ damage if he can, but it's a flank on flank. Reeves closing the gap. Heat holding close range, just pinged it. Heat's ready for this. Easy kill.
Okay, nice round from them though.
And you just saw the dedication.
Was just a low buy,
members of
so
MIBR
we'll see what
had to watch
NRG have got for the
B-Link,
full buy.
right? Heat has long, nothing gets through this. Heat doesn't die, no one gets on site. So the choice for NRG to try to get through that little bottleneck was unlucky for them. MIBR with the reads as well. JZZ with a great trailblazer to identify, right, that they could keep those defensive positions pretty late into the round. Really putting a wrench in what NRG wants to do here.
Just straight on back to B. The usual. They got the harbor ult. Let's just do the normal harbor ult to B.
Here banking on if they can fight Heat, but they won't find him right away. Let's see how NRG reacts to this. Turret up, force forward with Cascade, and nobody across the map. If MIBR chooses to take space here, could get some good info, but they're all staying behind. Here's the Reckoning Van Silly. Let's just wait to see who they can push out.
The Trailblazer actually went
Molly
onto the right side instead. Still gonna be able to get a plant out from Som.
Yeah.
does the turn and everything. We don't have to do we don't have to get angry like we did at Crew.
FRZ moving in now for the first blood on the retake. Seekers on the attack to push out the defenders. The snake bites, nanoswarms, everything's up. Heat on the top of the box.
That's a big kill if he gets the Viper.
There's just too much utility.
The Viper still has double molly. It's a huge kill. Man, poor Prius. I feel sorry for the observer.
Finesse with the last 2 kills. As, oh my god, it got chaotic. Lots of utility being used. But that's all you gotta do. It's the Phantom Spring through those smokes. It's just energy getting all the kills.
Let's get this map changed, man.
MIBR
I can't watch this as much.
And
let's get this map changed somehow. We need B changed. This is ridiculous.
FRZ defuses last time, and Maria's defuses were MIBR was able to sneak those because they tapped the spike, play for the fight long, and then use the cove. MIBR still had the cove there. They just didn't get a chance to use it. NRG was not allowing those ninja defuse games to happen. So you're right. Unleashing the cover fire through those smokes as soon as they could.
Need more visual clutter. The thing is, I'm kind of fine with the visual clutter, but when we get these rounds and it's just like
there's consistency.
I don't know,
figuring
man.
out where the op's going to be most
I don't know. I hate B so
if
much.
NRG makes the site, they really deplete Heat's use of that op more and more the closer they get.
Yeah. And that's the tough part of playing an operator and against a double controller mentioned multiple
Yeah,
times
it's more
now.
just the spam positions are the problem.
Current attempt of the meta from teams trying to pivot towards this double controller play to really nullify against the operator when then it was maybe that breach flash.
What's that meme of that guy that's like sweating, just like smashing his keyboard? That's pretty much Prius, man.
This timeout. They've been good at it the last time they called the timeout on Icebox, and we saw the comeback and even the victory from MIBR on the first map of Icebox. If you've missed it, make sure you watch back the replays later.
And this being an important round, you can see Murray's 6,600 credits spent, meaning dropping that weapon to RGL. If NRG can get another one, they make that money, that econ sting. Straight back to A. Who's hunting for an orb? It doesn't look like anybody's on deck just yet for NRG, but they are going to get some good denial on the Seekers for FRZ here. Or JZZ, rather.
Okay.
Not allowing JZZ to get Seekers indeed.
Ult for this one. Money's pretty low. I say money's pretty low. Money's crazy low. So if NRG can win this.
Thankfully, there's a high tide that allows for you to push in. Artist gaining that space, can get onto the top of the hut, but now is
nicely done.
My God,
it's the most important one.
That entry onto Maurice.
And they take full map control.
FRZ making himself known on that flank attempt on mid. Artist continues to push
He's
forward.
all over them.
Pain shells now available again, pushing Heat even further back. Even a boom bot as he eats it down to 11 HP. Now gets sprayed by Artist.
Damn.
The opener into a 3K, opening up the site.
It was a nice round from Artist.
Forcing MIBR to retreat.
And they calculated the timing perfect too.
Yeah, the boom ball was
Right
on
as that
one.
Viper's bite went down, Artist said, perfect timing. They're going to expect a bit of a delay. He flies straight in. The rest of the team was kind of there already. We saw the harbor plant going down from Som. So they really were not delayed too much. And I think that really caught Maurice off guard when he just sees Artist standing in front of him at the spike getting planted. Yeah, right on through. Artist did not stop on the train tracks there, getting a beautiful round to shut down a lot.
Yeah, it was a huge round though in terms of the impact.
back up.
I
So,
don't
like we said,
think
that was
they're going to
going
go
to
for
be a
this,
very
but
big
it's
round for
looking like
NRG
they might with this.
In terms of
What do they miss
MIBR's
out on? Because I
economy.
felt like
A
their
few
money
low
was
buys
really
coming
low.
through here and right side of the map. Nope, they're hovering over to the left.
This is it.
NRG looks like they'll get mid control and just see what this new setup from MIBR looks
It's pretty.
like.
It's actually pretty
Exactly,
decent.
it's what Blade Storms instead into this round. So you force around a Blade Storm half armor, and you want to fight towards long B. Heat moving forward, dancing around, hit by the flash, and even forced to
boy.
dash away. Thankfully, he'll get a heal out.
Yeah.
Support from JZZ. But yeah, that change of pace, the change
They
of
don't
strat
realize
from
that
MIBR was
they
quickly spotted by
have
NRG,
created a
and that
question
spray
mark
did a
here
lot of
though.
damage.
So this is like up for both teams.
Heat still under heavy attack. Second cloud burst already used, has almost no utility left. It's gonna be down to his daggers. As MIBR shifting towards the A side because of all of this pressure. Trying to gamble stack towards there. But for NRG, 1 minute mark, still just playing that default.
Yeah, you see the alarm bot just placed down as well by Crashies. They want to be able to hover this area for a little bit, but they don't have time to
Yeah,
check that
MIBR
long.
have stacked the wrong site here.
So
Bot coming
just
back.
leaving, you can see pulling that alarm
Calling
bot that
my
was
boss.
just placed, and the intention for this round starts to fall towards B. They've yo-yoed a little bit with that defense from MIBR, knowing it's on a low buy. So all they want is low numbers on this site, and they've gambled correctly. I wonder if we even have artists pop in here, they play as much contact as
30
possible of the
seconds
wall.
NRG's just waiting,
There.
just waiting for the
Yeah,
time
I can
screen
see
to come
nothing.
back
Get
down
to see
to
rotate in a
execute,
sec.
even throwing their own flashes behind the defensive walls. They tap in, and we are playing very cautiously, anticipating some sort of a gamble stack for MIBR towards the B site. Becomes a safe plant. But MIBR
I mean,
have
you
been
can't
good on
really
these retakes from
retake this.
GGZ's flash. Artist playing in front of it, getting the first blood here. Right click misses, and support comes down from Finesse. A satchel kill onto Heat. So we talked about the good retakes from MIBR, the slight change from
Can we fast forward to the next round? We might as well.
Really
Literally,
coming
might
to
as
shine
well.
in the last
When
two
the plant
rounds.
goes down
Once
and it's a
again,
good plant for long, it's
MIBR
just
having
like,
two
yeah, man,
players
just
forced to save.
let's just accept it.
And we do say it's kind of a heat activated MIBR is the way they play. Well, this is activate artists. As soon as you saw him go in the back hall, he was just after Finesse's guiding light, right? The timing they have on these set plays right now, even if we saw MIBR back hall, it looked like it would have ended up pretty bad for him. In the end, it still does. You have Finesse with that really nice backup. So NRG playing off each
The
other
quickest
super
fix,
well.
I've said it before.
Everybody kind of so
Barrier here,
understanding the situation,
barrier here.
never second guessing.
That's it.
That's
Then
what gives you these
you
type
can
of
cross
rounds
to
here.
this
7 to
section
2
before they can kind of
as they
peek
get
you.
back
Maybe this barrier
5
has to be a
rounds
little
for
bit
themselves.
back
Even with a
further.
few in the middle,
So you could either do
they
that,
bring it back.
which doesn't
Most of
really
these
fix the
rounds where they're
problem.
getting the spike down,
The best thing you
right?
can do
You
is
see there
just
on
block
on the
this out.
scoreboard. So they're
Right, all of this
getting
is
into the
all of this
site,
gets
finding
removed.
ways to just stall out MIBR,
So you
and that's
don't
gonna call
you have a
MIBR
small choke
to bring
point
in a
over towards
timeout.
here.
Yeah, a nice little victory so far in terms of the battle.
then
of
you can't
coaches
really see
as
vision from
already
it.
in round number 5 of the second map.
Or maybe you can and
Already
it's
forcing
only the
both
back.
timeouts out of MIBR,
It's only
so
the
that's
plant by
none
the
left
box.
moving into the second half,
That's,
where
that's how I
Chet
do
still
it.
has the opportunity of using both of his should things fall into not into place actually for NRG's playstyle. But so far, no complaints.
It's interesting. Recently, when talking to coaches and early timeouts, they always say, well, at the end, you always feel like I should have used it anyways. So just use it early sometimes. Again, in the case of NRG, not feeling like any of those need to be used, but MIBR wants to get ahead
Got
of
rid
these
of it, so
problems.
it's just
A little bit
open.
of that overhead look from the coach to make them realize
Still
this is
can
our
plant
goal.
for
A lot
and
of
it's still
times you
something to
forget
hide
what
behind,
your
but I get
winning
what you're saying.
condition is if you start playing to the other team. The desk said it. NRG might have been flexed to play MIBR's game on Icebox, which we just saw.
It's
here
a
at
bit
NRG.
like A-Long on
Much more
Dust
in their
2.
own stride as they
It's
come in
exactly
round
like
to round.
A-Long on Dust 2.
Showstopper is back
But
up
then
for Artis here.
imagine,
We actually just saw this a few
then
rounds
imagine
ago
in
at the
CS
A
that you
site,
can have
helping them
stuff
penetrate
on
through
the
with that Viper's pit.
on the bomb itself to
We'll
prevent
see
people
where
from
else they
defusing.
decide to go.
And then you would go, well, that doesn't make sense.
I think that's the change.
You can't have
MIBR
that
now going
and
back
that.
into putting a Vandal into the hands of Heat.
It's a good call.
So allowing maybe the flood retakes to happen too.
That's exactly what I was going to say. A lot easier to retake. Big flank here, or lurk, I should say, by Victor. All the way back. Looks like he might even want to buy another gun on the round.
While he waits passively here, all of MIBR pushed out towards Plaza and rotated towards the B link. So there's already 4 players inside this B side, but it's a showstopper to come out. Unfortunately, doesn't land. Another Rosa as the Seekers are being answered back by JZZ.
Victor Jewel at middle is going to be
So
interesting.
an all for ult, a stalemate with 1 minute left on the clock. We're
Okay.
waiting for the rest of the utils,
Didn't
the
expect
next
that one.
wave of the walls to come up here. Meanwhile, that lurk was lost from NRG. Oh, the drive-by denied, clotheslined. 1 more left to go.
Damn, okay, they managed to shut it down though before they planted. It's what they got to be done.
As that's a great read by MIBR.
We saw how much they stalled it out until NRG had to actually come into sight without utility. That's MIBR just shooting ducks as they cross into the site there. The mid-fight, I think we're going to see a little bit more now. FRZ and Victor lurking around each other, and FRZ was able to get the better of that round. I think it was really, really big to be able to deny that wall, right, that NRG wants to use to get into sight. So quick plays
They
around
got the
map
harbor
actually
every
affect
single
what's
time
going
they've
on
had it so
inside.
far. They've just gone for a
Props
B
to
hit.
FRZ there for
Just
winning
keep
the
an eye on it
1v1.
again.
And it looks like they
Ooh,
will
might be a little
play
bit different
not
this time.
super
Looking like they
aggressive
might be able
towards
to
mid,
fake it.
But MIBR has now put 2 on that B link where we've seen Artis going quite a bit in the beginning of these rounds to see if they can trade back that harbor wall and the frag. So that's the guiding light they would use.
Is it better
until
to just
Artis
flood
goes in.
site and fight
Right
instead of
there.
retaking? Yeah,
Breeze is
because you're
ready
not gonna,
face to
you
face.
can't retake it really.
NRG's just waiting for the poison order to come down. There it is. Cascade now with a trailblazer around the corner and Artis.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
goes
my
for
goodness.
a drive-by without the satchel to get the kill. But RGL just heard that footstep. It's close. Putting that crosshair placement in, the wall bang across,
Damn.
and Artis again with another entry.
Yeah, I mean,
make that even double it
Kind of
up.
won him 2 rounds solo, really.
I don't think we have to question anymore if he feels like switching roles has an effect.
Reckoning into the site. Heat now on a 1 versus 1 in the front of control. GZZ with the support
down,
to watch
B.
his back. So that's a spike down. Heat dashing forward to fight against Victor here. And wins it.
Oh, it's a nice nade,
Okay,
right?
the
30
pivot.
seconds
Spike just
left.
got picked up. We're rotating back towards the A site. Artis is stuck by himself in the back of the B halls.
Yeah, they've done good.
Just trying to keep them isolated into the B site, allowing now
Crashies
NRG
are taking
to
a
try to
lot
clutch
of...
a 3
Oh,
versus
I was
2.
tempted to take a lot of space here.
Looking at the map for a moment there, Vans. It was so spread out. I was
Okay,
actually
nice
wondering
plant
who was
for
on
A main.
offense or defense the way that
Nice
it-
plant for
it just
R, and they
panned
decide
out.
to double up.
NRG is really trying to spread
Yeah,
themselves
it's a
so
good
they can
bait.
figure out
This
how
could be
MIBR
pretty
is
good.
playing. And now,
FNS is
we do
one
defend the site
flash.
Here. Util to come in. It's just a heal for the team. Guiding light might come up soon there.
Player standing.
The upshot misses him.
Oh my.
Trying to get the backstab timing.
Finesse.
Oh, lights on the 2! And it's not even a hack. He has the flash to come out by Heat then! Swing slow!
That's crazy. There's no way.
MIBR's able to save that
There's
round
no way
thanks
that
to
the
that
round
play
went
from
like
Heat,
that.
But that was so close there for Finesse.
Heat. Absolutely turning it up on that one.
Last round before
FNS
the
with the
Man, that
idea
would've been
where the
one of the
last
funniest
player
clutches
was.
ever.
Just a slight sidestep mistake as Heat was still approaching. Artis here doing so much work in this round. The lineup happens, and then just that shoulder. Finesse being closer to the wall, Heat being further away. That's the way it plays out when you get modeled like that. Nicely done for a round to get picked up there as MIBR saves
Honestly,
another one.
We're
4?
actually happy that he missed the first couple of shots that allowed
Not
that
too bad.
unintentional lineup
5
for
as well.
2 kills.
We love
5
the
would be
collabs here.
Last round
pretty
to go.
banging. They got
Full gun round for both teams.
2 good retake ults
As
or
NRG are
ults to
once
prevent
again
them
fully
on getting on
focused
site.
the same conditioning towards this
NRG
B
just
side.
going back to what was working. Can they get the plant? At the moment, Jet's the only thing that's going to stop the plant. Yeah, here we go.
What
Nice
a few
retake.
rounds here that MIBR
Nice
has been able
rotate,
to
sorry.
pull back. And we said they've been going down to the 1v1s almost all the time. They've had to work for it as NRG is putting up this huge first half fight. Artist, again, first kill.
Pain shells at the top two. JZZ is going to be forced to just get away out of that position. Satchel charges up. As now a reckoning now comes out on the defense from RGL. Hit by a Trailblazer. Artist somehow still survives in the back. Is doing enough to allow just all of NRG to play the pulse plant. 2 nanoswarms are on the ground.
All I can think about is how crazy this game looks when it's like this.
Placed down by MIBR. Artist still looking for more and has done some damage. The first nanoswarm.
Double mollies.
You hear now the high tide coming down too. As that nanoswarm doesn't allow MIBR to tap onto the spike yet. Finesse
Get rid of this wall as well, man. While we're at it, get rid of that wall.
And now finally tapped onto the spike. We're just spraying back, and there's just no time left. NRG will still capitalize on the first half to win it 8-4.
Get rid of this stupid wall as well, man. Why have we got a little alcove?
Artist is 5 kills, 0 first deaths right now. There's no wonder to why they're playing so well in these rounds and being able to convert, because everybody is also there on these retakes, on these side helps. They have such good defensive beat.
Right, let's see who gets pistol.
Really
Let's see, because honestly, MIBR can just do this back to them.
Let's throw it over to the analyst desk to see how they break down that first half.
Thank you so much, Riv. It's an 8-4.
Do you think pulling the site into where it is in shorten the spike planting? Yes, that's actually a very good one.
Any confidence here on the second map, putting 8
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I think they looked really solid. I think as soon as
That's
they were
that's
like,
an
okay,
easy fix
well,
as well. I like
your
that a lot.
op, and we can deny your op, and we can deny everything. So we're back.
The site execs just look so well put together for NRG, but this round was bonkers. I mean, JZZ gets 2, and then Victor's forced to scrap in the dirt, bringing it to MIBR, pushing up behind them to be able to take down the lockdown, and this clutch from Crashies to win an anti-eco round that never should have got this close. I think just demonstrating that NRG are forced to kind of get much more brawly in order to bring it to MIBR.
Yeah, JZZ
Oh,
with
this
the
new
4
icebox.
piece there, almost the ace to complete it.
Yeah,
all.
at least we're getting rid of the icebox though.
We also charged NRG with controlling heat on that op, as we already mentioned, and it was a big difference there between
The problem is both of the sites there.
And ultimately, it seems like the answer is just throw
The main issue in general is
at the beginning of a
you got
round,
4 choke points,
They
and
definitely denied his control
all of B is like a
any
choke
part
point.
of the map, any line, nothing.
And
He
then
was
it's
not
very
able
hard to retake
even on the
both of the
retakes,
sites.
He couldn't even peek out with this op and try to kill
So
like
it's-
post-plan scenarios. He was literally
always
stuck
gonna be attack
behind
sided.
loads and loads of walls and util and mollies and everything, to the point where his team at the end started just getting him a vandal. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I'm just in for any
So a
change.
good timeout where MIBR won a couple of rounds after that and really just tried to counterplay the execs that were coming through, especially on B. But at the end of the day, that is a really good bounce back from NRG. They often start these series a little slow and then come out of the gates map 2 or later down the road looking very hot. It seems the same here.
Yeah, now of course that all has to get done now for MIBR on the offensive side. They've got 4 rounds plus 1 to make up if they want to wrap it up here in 2 for NRG. Looking to extend
Like another
the
9
series
months?
to a 5th
Yeah.
or a 3rd
I
map
think you're
rather, and
right.
that would be split if we manage to get there. Back over to Van Silly and Rib to get us into the game.
Thank you so much, Dash. Yes, Sideshow brings up a great point, actually. Riv. NRG usually known to start very slowly, whether in series, whether in tournaments, and then usually bounce back very strong. And it looks to be the case, at least on how they display
Just
their
remove
attack
this,
on
sure.
so far.
I honestly like
As now
the
difference comes in.
the
Now
getting
Artis
rid of the
playing-
plant
continue
thing.
to play that raise now on defense. Don't think we're going to see an operator with how he's been playing on the entryway
Yeah.
of the attack, but let's talk
God, why the
about
hell would
this
you have a
battle
plant?
right here off the flash. It's still MIBR in the top,
Damn.
at least for a short
Down
stint,
A.
as Victor fights right back.
Damn, it's like they did their pistol back to them. It's like we saw the same pistol, but this time there were less numbers from the attack side.
And also take control of the spike.
FRZ looking for a big lurk here, but it wasn't the right way. Still thinking somebody is coming over from the side of B. Once NRG actually has all 3 around that spike, it doesn't really matter where MIBR is going to come from. So just looking to pick up these final frags. The Ghost from
Well,
Breeze could definitely do
Viper's
some
gonna
work,
have a rough
but
time
I
now.
like the defense we have. The trifecta here. 2 classics and a Ghost sat over by the spike. Just making sure nobody's grabs it. Easy. So NRG look like they're going to start off with another round for themselves. This obviously could get pretty freaky, but like you were saying, as NRG does get this energy going into their games, a lot of the times it kind of looks like...
Last player standing.
Looks like potentially Victor with an ace.
30
As
seconds
he gets
left.
4 into the round.
Finished
FRZ now spotted by the turret. Victor and Crashies.
10
The
bullets.
dynamic duo here.
Okay.
Turret destroyed.
Just looking to play together. Swing off
Placing
contact
swarm
as the
grenade.
nanoswarm still available for FRZ.
Swarm
It's not going
grenade
to do
out.
too much. Now both of them are swinging out. 8
10
HP
seconds.
left.
One of them just leg
No
it.
time. One of them's going to run
Yeah.
away, and that's going to guarantee the round then for NRG. And Victor on top
Nice.
of that will get
Nice
these.
round from Victor. 3 HP at the
Finishing
end.
that thought, when they do start winning, it always looked like somebody is wowing you, Van Silly. So how about that? That actually worked out really well. It is. It's when it's Artist going into the side or Crashies getting a clutch. There we have an ace coming out. When NRG are able to come back, it feels like they're gassing up one of their teammates, right? And that it just absolutely flows for the squad. A nice ace to come out. That'll definitely gas you up. Feeling pretty good. Victor almost close to ult here to be able to deny where MIBR could go very early. This heat goes for that Marshall.
In terms of what they're buying,
MIBR
we...
wall towards A, wall towards B.
Okay, so
Starting
maybe
to
Here's my
we
farm,
are
we'll
going to see
see.
eventually an Artist on an operator on Raze because he's already
Good.
out here with the Marshall this
We could
round.
see a Marshall off.
No contact on that. At least know that he's also wielding a Marshall into the second round. For the rest though of MIBR, all pistols, lurking, breaking util.
Yeah.
With this lurk out from FRZ out towards Art.
Go get him.
So they throw up default wall on MIBR for Viper.
The TLDR of the
Just
first
to
half.
mess with whoever's
Yeah, pretty
at
much
B,
that.
but this is never the hit, right? MIBR back and forth, yo-yo the map. How can you
Okay,
push and
they're
pull
gonna
that
go over
defense
to the
with
site where
energy?
there's 2.
I think that orb may have been grabbed already. If not, they probably run right by it to start here. Nope, just a little bit for RGL.
Making
We're
sure we
going into
stack
the
harbor
site, man.
ults.
Great choice on
Imagine
the
we're gonna go over
gamble here
towards B
for
with them.
MIBR.
We'll see.
Sam just spraying with the Spectre. The first blood there onto Heat. Maurice playing on the top
Harbor
of the
gets a
staircase
plant
to
as
land
well.
one between the eyes of Crashies.
Doing alright, getting
There was a
getting
slight
this ult
delay
closer
as
and
He
closer.
was able to pull up a small nanoswarm, allowing the rotate to happen early for energy. As FRZ, we've mentioned that flank, that lurk. But it's weighted by Finesse. Another one to fall here, so it's going to be an attempt of another person to lurk into the late rotate. High Tide's already come up, the Cove too. Guaranteed a halfway defuse.
One enemy
Now
remaining.
Artist just continues to spray through, goes 2 kills. Doesn't even matter for this flank. Energy is now up by
Not too
10,
bad
and
in
they're
terms of
looking
damage though.
very convincing on this map, Pearl.
2 very quick rounds. They want to see split to decide this one. To see what the weaponry is.
Alright,
It is going to be.
let's get into this round. Saw a lot of armor rebuys for this. 2 people can't buy next round.
Looking
I mean,
at
this might be the
MIBR,
swing round right
this
here.
is the attack back round. Can they stop the momentum of energy? If not, this could just fold over into that victory as energy is commanding and demanding how this map flows right now, even from the defensive side. Killjoy utility over at A now. Push up to B. The energy
Yeah.
is just trying to make
NRG
MIBR
just
play
wanna
sweaty, get
shut
their
down
faces right
B.
away if they can.
As early as possible.
Even a Trailblazer is only going to spark 1.
Orb over towards Harbor. That's
wants
ult.
to
Do they
pick
want
that
to
up
just
right away.
insta-send it?
Reckoning now comes up. They check the site. Cascade forwards. Looks like this actually may hit right now. If we get the dash in from Heat, that's going to be the trigger for the go from everybody
4-pass and
else.
rotate might get here in time.
So not yet. Not yet. This is just waiting.
Ooh, okay. GCC gets a nice entry, though, onto Crashies. Finesse now spotted in the back of the pit. High Tide then retaliated by Energy as they're trying to crawl back into Flower Pot. And Artist gets the paint shell kills onto JZZ. Nobody's really going for a plant, which is going to want to go for a last-minute plant, potentially towards the B site. The Reckoning comes out first.
Yikes.
Heat catching Som, running away. Heat also dashing away. But all of MIBR is actually looking to re-hit towards the A site.
30 seconds left.
Artist on the off angle.
Last player standing.
What a crazy
Everything
round.
being well watched by MIBR.
Really nicely contacted
Wait,
in. That's
you didn't
not
go for a
often
plan?
you see once utility kind of takes a breather that a team will just walk in, especially
Okay.
Heat. Heat walks forward, JZZ just behind, and only once
didn't
they were
want-
in the
didn't want the
site
plan?
for quite a while did Heat
Fist
then
bumps more
activate
important.
his dash ready to move. So MIBR playing that one a little differently to not alert energy on the
Right,
rehit.
that does break their
Nice
economy
start,
though,
little
so
mind
that's
games,
kind of
able to
good.
take that round and
MIBR have a
garrison the
chance
site
now
well.
to stack up
Not many
some
go down
money.
for MIBR, which spells good things for economy, and we're going to see that
Okay.
down in the dumps for NRG here. as
Yeah,
we get to
nothing
round
too crazy
16.
in terms of guns.
Bit of a B play with that A extremity.
Like this from
push
NRG,
coming
the
from
push up
NRG
close
again,
to an
so
Earth is getting
MIBR
this orb. I
looking to get
think
early fights.
it was Harbor.
3 just swinging out right away here as they love
They leave
to
one
trade
here.
at the
Might
beginning of the
just see a
round.
little gamble
Victor's
stack
about
over
to
towards B.
cross over. He just got
Hey,
There's a
hey,
big
hey,
three
Victor.
players right there.
No
Thankfully,
way,
he's got
he's
the
full
toxic manages
HP.
to fall back. And already an early rotate with the amount of shots that came out here onto screens. He's looking for backup. And all of NRG is currently doing that.
A little bit of a rethinking of the situation here by NRG. You see Crashies move back to B-Link for a little bit of an audio cue if anyone moves through mid, but
This is
Just
kind of
back and
nice. I
forth
like
from
the full one
MIBR.
again. When this
Shots
flash
are hitting
goes in to
now.
get info, it's going to hit one.
Icebox
But
to
we might see the
this,
jump
they're still
peek.
working the map
Kind of have
so
all of their
well
util at the
to make
moment to
sure
just
they'll
deny
find where
information
the
here.
site
So they
is
have the
clear
wall
hit
to try and
and
deny
safe
the
for
jump
the
peek,
plan.
and now they're doing a 4-1,
For
so that
NRG,
when the sky goes to
gambled with
clear
it, they did
like
force
this,
his B-side
that
with,
it
of
looks like
course,
there's
seeing
more
that they
people
have a
here.
more
So
buy
that hits means
into
that
this round.
everyone continues with
With
the
the amount
stack,
of
right?
shots that came out,
So
were-
this
they
is
were
very
hoping
nice.
for another one of those
Very nice
super
approach
late
from
round
MIBR.
hits. Or super late hits rather into the round like they did the previous rounds for MIBR.
It's cool that we got to see the
Instead,
example
it's
with the
gonna be
flash. It was good
attackers
timing.
planning towards the A site. And NRG are really clearing everything around the map, trying to find where Maurice could be.
Well, no matter what happens here, a lot of ult for energy. Next round, it starts off in the back dugout.
Respect to Aldous.
He's just holding everybody back. You could definitely see it here for NRG. We're not really trying to go for a tap or anything, trying to keep MIBR within the radius of the spike to go
Yeah,
off.
they just want to do damage.
Crash is waiting just behind the high tide. Here's the footsteps.
Terminated.
That's a
And then
gun.
here's that flash.
Give me FNS.
Finesse trying to get the last 2 kills outside of A-Long, but he gets stopped himself. MIBR, no matter what, will still get the round.
Okay, NRG are going to
Another
call a
A push
timeout for
coming
this
in.
one.
Obviously, that was going to be a tough one from NRG. MIBR cannot
Got
let
some
those
ults.
rounds feel like they play it slow. They have to
Money's
be
starting
dictating
to
what
get a
happens
little
from
bit
B,
out of control
then
in
to
terms
A.
of 5-6.
They haven't
It's
worked
not
mid.
too bad on these two, but
NRG had a very
yeah, it's
big
important
focus
round.
towards the middle.
They're
to
like
late game
really
of
close.
first
They could
half
try and get an
of
orb
working
over towards Artist if they want
kind of
to as
fighting
well.
a fight at B-Link. It just seems like it's where's Heat going? Everybody's got this one of those little baby ropes onto Heat and just follow him around, right? At least 2 people have that trifecta of assistance to help activate Heat. And then once you've either fought at A main or fought at B main, you back up to the middle of the map and re-hit with some gusto. 10-6 now as MIBR start to close that gap. Here, Energy is going to call the timeout.
First one now being called by Chet. By the way, has been looking very handsome lately.
Right? Stoic.
Must admit. But yeah, definitely seeing how NRG have been playing towards this defensive half. Been trying to play more reactively and delays off the Killjoy utility that's being placed by Crashies. They're reading it correctly into the moments, but into these retake plays, into the battles when it's supposed to get brawly.
Placing swamp grenade.
MIBR still seems to pull ahead. And that's what
Alright,
Des was
so
mentioning before, too,
timeout
how
happens. They
MIBR
put a
played
lot
on
of
that first
util
map on
over
Icebox.
towards
Look at this
B
one here.
in terms
Especially
of just
playing
trying to
the double
deny
controller.
this.
You wanna play
Trying to
inside that little
make
pit
this
that's
the
created
choke
from
point.
both of the controllers.
Deny
Full fight in that.
information.
And MIBR
Alarm
slowly
bot,
find
Molly
that
goes
groove
off,
on
pushes
the
them
attack
back
as well
through
with that type of play
over to the
style.
wall. So MIBR are
my
loving A.
Reading
Oh
each
my
other's minds,
goodness.
Vansili.
It's always like that.
Yeah, and if
Couple of
Artist gets
flashes on both
this,
ends.
that is all.
Still losing heat for Finesse is a big plus with how
I like how they're keeping up
starting to
pressure and
activate
walking over
onto the
towards
second half.
Artist. Honestly, might work well.
Satchel out.
Meanwhile, here for NRG, they still have their own duelists as
Yeah, this is a really
Artist
nice
is
round
pushing
from
back.
MIBR.
Yeah.
Som is
Pulling
ready
away
though.
Som.
Damn, they
both get
actually
picked off
lined up.
by Moritz, allowing now
I
MIBR
loved this round from
to slowly
MIBR. This
gain
was cool.
more back control. Now this
How
man,
is this
talked
kid
about him
winning these
before.
duels? That's
Unsung heroes in
nuts.
a way that he's been actually lurking around on Icebox before and has put up a stellar performance on these lurks against Crew last week. And we're definitely seeing why they managed to scrape that victory against Crew last week, 13-11.
Yeah, he is.
They're
It's
looking to bring
true.
the comeback into
How
the
is it
second
like he's
half
on this
their
HP as
attack
well?
half
It's kind of
against
insane.
Their choice
Well,
of Pearl.
we'll
Let's
look
see if
over to the
it's- if
right.
this
We'll
is
check out the
reason why-
money.
If their attack half is the one,
It's,
they can
another
really
eco
get
coming
going.
up.
Super cool take into the site. Smart play after NRG's timeout. Recognizing artists could be going for ultimate. Well, JZZ is one away as well, and they did get the orb, so Seekers for next round. But that was an instant fight to shut down the showstopper from coming in. Both ultimate possibilities were there fighting at A main. And MIBR just comes out swinging on that. So the timeout snuffed out. And MIBR now 3 away on these rounds to get back into this game for a tie. No real different setup here for the side of NRG. Looks like they'll keep 2 on one side, 3 to the other. And we'll see if MIBR even changes up their way of
What's this
protecting
third one
things
like?
or pushing into. Still no real
yeah.
mid play we've seen coming from them too much.
Prius is out to
That
get me
was kind of
today.
one of the first ones we had.
Prius is really out
So
to
here
get
we
me
go.
today.
They are going
That's
in.
what I've noticed.
A mid for attempt of potentially a crunch. A lower buy for NRG. Trailblazer coming out, forcing Heat to activate a dash very early.
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of what they managed to get
Nice
together,
little
it's actually
trade-off
not
for
too
utility.
bad.
Heat still has it activated, so might try to look for something here through the double doors of B-Link. Gains control of Plaza.
Holy
Finesse is
hell.
forced to fall back. Is not going to
Yeah,
find
Finesse
anybody
getting
to
away with
heal
that one.
him because it's him.
They might be able to identify too. RGL being there with FRZ. A lot of the times you'll see Cascade and Guiding Light being thrown together. So that could be even more info for MIBR than we know right now. Well, they just got that too. Harbor's on the right. So that info is now privy to MIBR. Good lurk here by FRZ. But it's going to be the B play, the B hit. They're going to walk right into Crashy's utility to start this off. Nothing really to clear that util, so this is all going to have to be in the moment.
30 seconds left.
30-second pit. And Victor has to play inside it with the Guardian. High Tide now comes out. So a
I've got
perfect
your
call, a
trail.
perfect read for NRG. Here comes now the Seekers onto the attack. It's going to come in from the B-Link, so that's going to spot Victor right here.
Oh my goodness.
Just trying to stay alive,
Keeping on
just
the
trying to
time.
keep this pit up. A counter Viper's pit on the attack with 10 seconds
And
left.
MIBR love the
Victor just
10-second
holding
plant.
over Crashies is there for 2 kills.
Holy hell. What is going on?
Moritz now dancing out of his poise of his pit to be able to get the kill onto Crashies. Showstopper out. Clearing out towards the back of the site. Both did not have to move in.
There's no way. Look at this round, though. What the hell are we watching? Like, how is anyone meant to even understand what's going on?
So many times on the executions here for NRG.
So many neat things to pick out there for MIBR. Just 2. Obviously, we saw one at the end there. Moritz playing the dancing game, being able to just get the upper hand. But also the entry onto screens with Heat going up and RGL going under. They would have had such a cool way to penetrate that Viper's pit if somebody was looking up
Comparing
quickly for Heat.
observers?
So
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a skill, so we
distractions.
should compare observing.
Protocols they were creating there to make
Do
that
you know what
happen.
makes the
8 to 10
EMEA
now, the
way
gap
better,
gets
in my
smaller.
opinion,
MIBR
is the
closes within 2
replays.
rounds.
The
They
replays
play
in
the
EMEA
same
are
strat we
incredible.
just had from last round, a little bit less B-Link focus to start, but this spread of the members is normal. NRG, though, taking way more space than usual on this gun round. And they do get a bit of info to start off this, but they'll reset. Noise towards B. NRG.
MCE, it kind of looked like you had them on today, that's all I'm saying.
And they're just leaving A. They're happy with the retake here eventually. Plus, they're expecting a reckoning probably to come through.
And interesting enough here for this round, FRZ has an operator in his hands, locking down towards the A site. As he hears nothing, Artis in a battle in a late lurk against Maurice, who now falls back. Seekers is going to spot at least some players.
Do you know what's
very
mental?
close. Wow.
I think I've seen 4 rounds today, all from MIBR, where they planted in the last 10 seconds, and they've won all 4 of the rounds. Or they've attempted to plant in the last 10 seconds, I should say.
Now he pushes back with his own high tide to regain space towards the A side, but Heat has already dashed in.
This might be another one.
A little bit of damage onto Heat.
Yeah, this is gonna be another one. 15 seconds to include that? Probably not. Oh my goodness. Oh god, the spam. The spam, right? Oh my god.
4 seconds left, and finally the plant comes down. Finesse then gets swamped by JZZ. As a 2-player disadvantage comes out for.
There's no way that they win all of these rounds. That's crazy.
Wow.
They just thrive. They absolutely thrive in the chaos.
Super well in these close quarter battles.
And Vansili, that round, the minimap told such a story. With such a sight hit coming in from MIBR, we saw Victor at B almost until the spike was permanently planted. They were not ready, right, to come through. We see him now coming in through the R area, but there was such a reluctancy to move, to think MIBR could still be hitting B. This is what they've got in NRG's brain right now, right? NRG is waiting for that fake play to happen, that move back to the other side of the map, because that's all MIBR has done,
Protect the planner at all costs. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good at it.
Now here comes
they
the
are pretty good at it.
timeout out for NRG as well. So early called into the half. Both teams definitely using here to try to figure out how they want to work their attack.
Monkey Meatloaf, thank you for the bits, mate. Appreciate you.
From Moritz as well for MIBR when he was talking about his team's play style, kind of giving a lot of hype around this roster, around this team, where it's not about like trying to copy.
Even the cars are cooked, mate, but it's just like it's madness.
That puts them at the top. They're able to develop their own style, which really, it's a lot of mixes of, yes, you could activate into like the W style of how Heat could be activated thanks to the initiators, but they could also do a lot of these defaults. A lot of slow plays, a lot of lurks that could still work very well for this team.
All right.
Kind of really keeps your opponents on their toes. There's no more of that
they lost.
signature
Okay, so they get. Okay, it's a good low buy still.
For MIBR or just for the Brazilian region.
They use their last pause into this one.
But the thing is,
the worry. I mean,
you
kind of close to these orcs.
The teams still expect that, right? They wonder, are they doing it? Are they not?
Oh.
So when you don't, it's almost even more of a
nice
loop
shot.
to be
Was
thrown
fast.
For Heat onto Artis, starting off this round.
Spotting it and identifying it. Finesse is trying to do everything under his power to try to get the trade with that Spectre, but would make it out unscathed. 50 armor, 100 HP on Heat. As NRG into this round, yes, a timeout was called, but it's also to try to figure out into
dog
the
out
next
over
round.
towards A to clear this. That sound of that makes the rotate come in. FRZ maybe getting an orb, gets the orb. Question mark here. Sky coming in, doesn't have a flash yet. Now just has a flash. How long until he flashes to clear this?
How are you going to react to this? Also, I'm sure MIBR doesn't want to walk around a corner and find any of these judges or shorties Sam has been firing off throughout the series. So they keep it safe. A few of the gun trades around.
Wanted to save the flash.
They head into sight.
No, they didn't. They flashed through their own smoke. They realized that no one's here. So yeah, this is a nice bit of fake pressure. Could be able to get the plant down here. Maybe. Even though they take a lot of time. Damn, not the best plants. They got to fight over towards site. Dude, they put double molly each side of that so you can fall back. This might be an interesting round because they have decided to not plant good, and that just means that the close range guns are going to have close duels.
A 2 versus 1.
And they messed up. They really messed up. This is an absolute freebie for NRG.
And because it's not planted for long, it's an easy defuse for Som.
Full site control. Full site control. All of this blocked up, and they decide to plant here when they're on low buy.
No. Not gonna happen. Just a Marshall if you want that, right? But yeah, that came down to the plant. Interesting choice to want to switch it up for that one, just in terms of safety.
Hey, I respect the wording. It was an interesting choice. It's
That's a
true.
retake. Coming in for the side of NRG though, cannot deny it. They have been beaten and battered down the past round after round, and they finally stopped the bleeding on a Thrifty. This push happens again though, so they're not deterred from pushing up and trying to take this space. MIBR might be hitting the shots, but NRG still trying to formulate plans to putting this game back to a win.
Well, if they can beat this, it's kind of unreal. Full reset in terms of the money, go down to a 1-9, then it would be 11-11.
MIBR aware that there might be some players now positioned, posted up there, forcing them to move towards a different side of the map. They rotate quickly, but as we're jumping across, I don't know if that was actually heard here from those lurkers, from that forward push from MIBR through that mid connector.
One of the few mid plays we have here. I feel like a play like this can activate the Reckoning from NRG.
What's going on?
Use it falsely, but it's something MIBR has to be
okay,
aware of.
we got
The
something
post
else.
plan is not going to be easy here as NRG is going to come swarming in with a lockdown and Reckoning. Already a main control Van Silly. They got to be aware of that.
That's the thing. Two players playing on the top there. It's traded out, but that's perfect. And Crashes is still alive. So he has that lockdown.
Chat, Prius has gone to bed.
And him staying alive is huge because it doesn't allow MIBR to play a post plan. Even catching players pushing forward to try to take Crashes down. Some fights one and kills one from behind. 20 seconds left now. Seekers now coming out.
When it gets to his POV, it's kind of sick.
Some under heavy attack, hit by one of the Seekers. 13 seconds left. He's being saved by Artist, who comes out toward the back of the site.
10 seconds left.
Things are looking good here. Until then,
He might be the play.
Spike down A.
I mean, that's it. It's done. No time.
2 versus 1. No time left for the plant. So no matter what, it is going to be map point for NRG.
Nicely played between the ultimates. They knew how much they could delay. Lockdown gets saved
3 chances
for this round for NRG. They have a bit of a fail-safe. Playing their life in sight is a possibility, but it could be
they was all planned out. They knew we'd get the most important kill.
A play still gets the Killjoy utility.
This map has been awful to watch. Oh my goodness! And it's not really the team's fault.
Did try to make a play through that mid area to get NRG off on the back heel. A judge for finesse. Looks like he wants somebody to come right through that B link this time. He's itching for it.
Yeah, he heard me. And wait, is this just now Artist POV? That would be sick.
JZZ, but it's traded.
There's a gap in that high tide, or that cascade, that allows for MIBR to move now into this B site. Already, all of the ults are being used into this round. Plant coming in.
Okay, that should get the good plant this time.
RGL, but still stays alive. Throws another cascade, blocking off some vision.
He did his job though.
Doesn't care.
3 players in this one? Oh my goodness. Yeah, he did his job though. Got the plant down into the corner.
And for the rest of MIBR,
only one Viper bite.
Here comes that cove out.
There's no way it ends like that. Okay, I was gonna say.
By MIBR, only one player left. They're so low on HP. One snake bite at least. Kill from the grave.
Man, imagine they got this plant in that other round. It'd be a completely different game. 3 chances down to 2, and we're going over towards their money. They have to eco this. 1-9 reset.
Is that they're forcing potentially a low buy, an eco, out of NRG. So this may come down to the last round of regulation once again.
You still have the Blade Storm to come up from Heat. Do they activate, and how hard do they activate Heat here? Rotation in mid from FRZ. 3 stacked by NRG.
Gotta watch more of it. Yeah, we're locked in now. We've committed too much.
Few ultimates away, so orb grab here would only
might be going fast B, and there's only one here.
They set up the same start. B cascade, B wall. Let NRG see the same thing.
So I'm picking up an orb, potentially being able to get one in the last round. We'll have a look.
Calling for MIBR come into play.
Planning ahead in terms of the rotate. We get 3 people here.
Coming up to try to cover up.
This
might help for the retake for NRG as well. As MIBR once again are looking for this B hit. Spike's already moving through. Victor already fell down, so that wall for that
going
retake.
For the better plant again. They land the hard way. It's a nice nade though. Wow, surviving on 17.
This post plant's going to be tough to retake.
Saw him so close here. Waiting for the high tide to come down. The flash for the peak. RGL not affected by it.
Jesus.
It will eventually come down to this last round of regulation. The last two players only with frenzies for energy. Well,
All right.
did some damage there for Finesse. 2 kills with
3
that.
chances, down to 1 last chance. NRG gonna have a full buy for it.
What is this last
And
one?
some light armors, that's about it.
Looking at energy for a moment
Right.
just to see what they do have. Seekers.
Yeah, exactly. From those 2 kills and a death, those Seekers are now available for Finesse.
The frenzy actually comes up so big here. The fight for A main, though. Do they go for this artist showstopper fight again? It could also be a reckoning depending on what they want. And it's just a retakes mentality. Look at where energy's playing here. MIBR is going to be able to grab this
MIBR.
site, and if it's a plant for Maurice,
They went for a nice game plan where they decided to go A loads.
They might just want to go for the
And
orb
now
too,
they're just
because
going
the
back to the
score
OP.
players have been stacked
In
up from
terms of
MIBR on
this,
that
Som
side, and there
does
you go.
get his
Orb
ult.
now picked
Is
up.
that going
It
to
is
change
available
everything?
for a plant.
Ardis 1 kill away from his ult as well.
We've picked up the reckoning for Som. So this might become
This
a
is very nice from
gruesome
Heat.
battle in the last round of regulation.
overtime
Okay.
on the horizon.
Small window to get the plant
Black
off.
comes in once again for long range. There's that pit. There's an early Seekers. Heat pushing towards the spawn. The first blood to Som. Everybody's dropping
Huge.
instantly
Oh
for
my goodness.
energy.
We're going
Crashes low on HP.
We're going
Now
OT.
1 HP inside the pit.
Okay, nicely
And
done.
we are indeed
Nice
going
push from them as
into
well.
the
I like
extra
this a lot.
rounds as MIBR
3
look
in a row,
very
all over
convincing
towards
on
B.
that.
Nicely done. Overtime, 3 chances down to 0.
MIBR's
NRG got to win in
timeouts,
overtime.
After Energy's timeouts, it just feels like they have been able to reset and find themselves the
nice.
round needed to get this comeback here. You see the team vibe, and Heat feels good. Maurice, that's me. That's not them. This is our game, as he's saying. Oh my gosh. Overtime.
Yep,
Round 1.
pretty
Let's
much
see what we
that.
got.
Tokyo.
Looking at the compositions, he does it again. He is going with the naked up. He loves this pressure. He loves to put this pressure on
Right,
his
defense,
opponents,
yeah.
on the defensive operator.
Blast cannon.
Onto the screen, he's posted up on his perch.
Placing swamp grenade.
And they actually are going to stack the
alarm
left
bot.
side of the map here, leaving.
Out.
Yeah.
Crashes
Everyone's
all
like,
by
hold
himself.
up. Everyone's having
Keep in mind
insane
also
success over
that
towards
Energy's
B.
utility
We
on
should
the attack
probably
with
try
the double
shut this
controller
down.
setup, though, we're really good at nullifying these.
I like how they did
aggressive
this. They had
positions from
3
Heat
people
on
here, and
the
they were just gonna
defense.
heavy spam the cascade when it came out. But because this wall came up at the beginning, they're gonna wait.
So
That's
an
at
early
least very nice
trailblazer
for them to get
just
the
to
dog
really
out
clear
though.
towards control.
Dog
They're
out,
gonna
cascade
blast to come
goes
out.
in.
They're ready
Jet.
for MIBR to be up long B already, Van Silly. You cannot second guess anything. MIBR's around every
God, I'm
corner.
nervous for him.
And Heat here on screen.
I'm so nervous for him. You got no armor.
He finally has to activate it. Trying to swing out, and he's actually in the radius to get re-healed now. But Saw's watching it. Headshot now, advantage out for
The
energy.
no armor
moving
play,
into
he
the
went
site.
behind
Flash
screens.
attempted by JZZ.
Guys,
Trying to push in through. Artist is getting the satchels in. Oh, RGL though continues to spray, putting down Artist. Spike has not been planted because of all of the
Jesus.
pressure coming out from MIBR. But thankfully, it's still on the back here of Som, falling back towards the pillars.
Oh my goodness.
Counter spray is coming through on both ends, but it's just light damage being
Nah,
done.
you can
End of the
spam
day,
here.
that is a player advantage for energy.
You're
with
getting
30 seconds.
spammed here. Come on, boss man.
As this might be the cue for energy to fight right back. Flash in 3
Last
seconds
player
available.
standing.
Make that in 0 seconds as Victor just got picked off by JZZ. Or sorry, the opposite. Killed by the snake bite. As RGL now in the back of the site.
Spike planted.
Information's already there. Crashes gets the kill, and NRG's back in the lead.
Okay, we have to force their way over towards B. Let's see what MIBR do.
Really awesome distraction, Molly coming in. NRG with all of the answers there to make that attack
NRG
and
timeout.
post-plant look
Chat.
easy and take it away
5
from
person
MIBR.
stack
And they'll call the
B.
timeout. Chat wants a word. Let the team
I think
know this,
we'll
this,
see.
and this.
We'll see
Just
what
the 3
happens.
points, I promise. And they'll be coming into this next one. MIBR,
They'll
though,
probably just
I think
do.
they're gonna come
It will
out
probably just be
very,
very
very
similar.
strong.
What maybe
They'll
it's
talk
like a
about how they gas
Killjoy
each
getting
other up, and
info
overtime is
on
not
one of the
a
3.
moment to slow down.
We'll say 4, right? These are all the choke points. It'll be like
He
Killjoy in
still
charge
waiting
of
on his buy.
2
He's
of
trolling
these.
us, he didn't buy
Over
it.
to these 2 together, these
Wish
2
I could
together, and
tell
then
ya.
3 person fight
But he
B.
may not go for the operator. We saw
Feels like
Van Silly
that's the main thing
switches
to do.
through MIBR, giving the op to FRZ. Rounds when Heat, after they were not winning with the op, going back to a rifle to allow the team to initiate.
Yeah, I
together.
was saying this
So
at
that
lock-in.
might
I
be
was
the
like, I
choice
guarantee
here
this
when we
map
come
gets
back on
real
screen. We see
boring real
Heat with that
fast.
Vandal.
And I think we're starting to see it.
An important timeout indeed. Looking now here at NRG on the defense. It has been at least the weaker side for both of these teams, actually. Now to see, do we want to fight back towards that mid? There has been that pressure before coming out of MIBR. Do you want to push outside of that? Do we want to get aggressive through the middle instead of the extremities?
Yeah.
Just to try to catch MIBR off guard. The defaults that MIBR are currently playing, so you want to really try to isolate at least one of those key lurkers being Maritz, and then deal with JZZ later. I mean, if I was NRG playing, I was
another
like,
chance
for
for NRG. We have
him,
no
the
ops
desk
coming out.
brought up JZZ
In terms
as
of how we're
well,
playing this,
and mentioning that all of
they're doing a
MIBR
similar
is
thing
on
where they're
top
going to
of
block
their
this off
fragging ability
instantly.
right now to make these comebacks happen.
What are you pinging here?
NRG forces through. It looks like they find the aim and precision on the last round of overtime, I should say.
Damn.
Okay. This changes a bit. You have a flash coming out, and then also
they
a
wanna get
trailblazer,
numbers.
but no support coming out from Artist. So only a solo hold in that area. That condition that NRG has been doing towards that B halls before. You saw it being pinged earlier on there by Maritz looking at the control. And because of that, look at
This isn't going to work. They have Sky getting info over towards B, and they're not even putting one pass in here, so one flash will clear it.
Seeing if they can draw
So
any
they can
of this
stack 4
utility.
people here pretty much.
Oh.
Like this flash has just cleared all of this. It hit
nice
no
one.
one.
Zone early. You
Oh,
talked
wait,
about
we go
trying to
late?
force out
Okay,
early
I take it
utility.
all
They're
back.
able to do so.
Massive
Crashies
duel.
gets
Good
instantly
trade.
traded out by JZZ.
FNS has a
It's up to one
chance.
player in the back of the
Spike
site.
is in spawn.
Solo hold, solo play.
They go back to A here?
Probably not. Not
Probably
at this
not.
point.
Not the dive in.
The Spike's committed. And Finesse does get the first turns around on the other end, but JZZ's still there.
Keep an eye on the killjoy. What's
Spike
going
now
on
moving
here?
forward from Long B. High tide to move up. And this is not supposed to be some sort of back rotate. This is going to be a late lurk coming out of FRZ.
It's going to have to start coming in.
Oh, safe plant.
Tap first onto the Spike. Now the full plank coming
Safe
through.
plant. It's all up
Again,
to
buying some
them
time
staying
to
alive
allow this flank
and
to
this
happen.
luck that they're not going to
It's
expect.
up to NRG to decide if they want to move really quickly now into the site.
You have a flash.
Boombot already trying to clear out the angles. JZZ prepped up with a flash. Not even needed. Pulls out the rifle first and does get that third kill.
Okay,
into
great.
the
Here
round.
comes the killjoy.
And here is that lurk from the bottom
2
to
HP.
make it a 2 versus 1. Low HP is Som at 2.
Damn. Nicely played.
It's time to stretch your legs,
I
chat.
actually kind of like this one.
We might be
I like
going
this
a
one
few
from them.
rounds here on Pearl.
The late pivot over towards here. Actually kind of let them, clear all of this the whole time.
Pivotal player in the end.
I wonder how far they fall into this. This could have been like really smart, to be honest, if they left this open and they were flashing this and then they heavy stacked A because there was no one there. Like they planned to have no one over towards B long. There's a chance there was like there's a chance that was just an insanely smart round all planned by MIBR.
Timing, so really smart stuff by MIBR to be able to just delay the round a little bit. Now call a timeout. Both coaches going to go right in to get this info to their teams in a tense moment. And MIBR with a chance to close this out. I mean, that said, kind of an upset here when you think about it. NRG was not expected to lose. Now maybe 2 maps in a row. Van silly.
Might just be a day of upsets if this happens. C9 earlier on today.
Maybe there's a chance.
Getting that victory against 100 Thieves. This time MIBR.
Yeah.
Showing that top dog ain't top dog. That maybe when you're looking at even at Plat Chat in terms of the tier lists that they have in their rankings, maybe there's no tier break. MIBR definitely pushing NRG to the brink.
Yeah. Five seconds, we're back into this one. It's going to be MIBR back on defense. No real pushes around the map for now. This B-Link has been covered a little bit more, knowing it's a common place for these two teams currently to find that 1v1. A quick hit in. Artist has found a few of his opening rounds there that really got NRG what they have in terms of being in the lead, but that has been closed up by MIBR's map control, playing off of heat, and really using this double controller composition to the max. We see a deeper high tide actually coming through to start for that mid control. Usually just goes around the inner wall as MIBR look to take this space to figure out what NRG's doing right off the bat.
They've done this, getting the high tide out, but usually rotates over to B-Link.
Let's see if this can get any kind of kills.
Crashies is waiting though while the execution happens towards the B side. Crashies
Nice trades in. We've got nothing to stop this though.
Some room
Nah,
to
nicely
breathe
done.
for NRG
Dog
to
spotted
plant
him
inside
earlier.
this B site. The heal coming up now for Finesse. On to his teammates. The plant's a little bit deep. So there's an opportunity to do a safe defuse if MIBR can move in here from that B-Link. And then initiate the defuse
It's not
from
the
there.
best plant,
Only
right?
Artis
You might
is
be able to
playing towards the
defuse
back
on
of
the
the
side
site.
if they kill
Reese
Artis.
is moving forward.
Wait, there's a small chance. I don't think it's the
Flash
best
assist allows
plant.
for him to get another one. Finesse
Actually, no,
answers back.
it's kind of legit.
There's only one left to go. It's RGL, 31 HP. Cove up, full HP and armor. Our two players. He lands a nice one there. Cascade up, tap onto the spike.
Victor.
Victor's so smart.
Niggas absolutely
Victor's so
owns
smart
him.
for that win. And NRG
Absolutely
once
owns
again
him.
regain the lead.
He gives him the barrel of the
Switching
gun,
sides.
Van Silly.
Match point.
Oh, that's so cheeky. Not even the jump peek for the shoulder, just the barrel of the gun. Wow, that's a heady
Right.
play right there.
Do they
coming
go
in
B
from
again?
NRG. Easy, quick shot to end it
Oh
out.
man, chat, how do we make Riot see that this map is
Especially
broken?
with the cascade
Like,
coming
how do
out, so
we
really
how do
neat
we
to
get
see
the
how
word
each
out?
player's just interpreting the situation. NRG make that look quite easy as Victor picks it up. 14 to 13, NRG back in the lead here, up to MIBR.
Oh
Pretty
my,
aggressive
the
strat.
tech pulse.
We're about to get the wall drop.
We're getting the
No, because they changed the icebox when people were pretty vocal about that.
Boom.
No, I think they're kind of fine with it
Technically,
because
it
they
is a
did
pause.
the same for icebox, right?
KJ or Killjoy Utility is going to be set up at B here for this, and an interesting time to have a pause. I'm sure MIBR wants to get right into this round, focused on that B setup strategy again, where it doesn't look like they would end there unless we see the kill in B link, unless we see that FRZ has been able to identify either by audio cue or visual cue on his util. There has been a bit of a rotation. That's when we see MIBR really use the snap judgment. We see Artis here talking with Stage QA.
Yeah.
See what is up.
We'll
There's
see
definitely
done
no
now.
visual cues for now, as we seem to have a monitor issue now with Artis. So we're just gonna get that fixed real
Well,
quick and
turn
then
it
continue
on.
on into the overtime.
It helps.
Did you turn it off and on again? Did you try that? But yeah, that definitely breaks the hype that you're bringing into the following rounds here, especially how NRG was able to retake.
You know it
or at
all
least
too
hold
well,
the pulse
Doombros.
plant. MIBR, who's usually very good of like using JZZ to flash, have the other ones push out and get the first entries, the first kills on a retakes. And this is one of the few moments here on a pulse plant on B. They're able to hold it strong for energy.
Doombros, I have
And it
a
has to be one of those moments where it's just like 5 guys spraying through space.
I have a
onto long
proposition
B
for you.
plant.
Honestly, I feel like that's what we're getting a lot of the time.
So you know
Phantom
how
Supremacy has reared its
Angel
head
comes up with
quite
some
a bit
crazy,
here
crazy
recently in the meta.
comps.
We still see
And
Vandal
and you
lovers
kind of go
around,
like,
but
that's too much.
Man, the amount
Like-
of
like,
double
that's too
controllers,
much.
Phantom just
Like,
plays
don't do that.
into
Maybe you
that.
can get away with this. What about you let him fully loose?
NRG, bring us to split if
for the
they're able to
K-Corp
take this
game.
next one, which
Like, literally just
honestly
go,
is kind
this-
of a toss-up
this
for
is all
both
you,
these
man.
teams, with
This is
NRG
your
having
chance.
a map on it and feeling pretty good.
And you
We
like
do
the
not know
craziest
very
comp he's
much
ever
of what
suggested, and you just
MIBR
let him
can
have
bring
it.
to the table. So I think we get another very back and forth game if we go to that here. Tech pause in our second game, second overtime.
You just don't turn up to
into
practices for a
third.
week.
Or I
That would
guess
be the
that's
best.
second
You don't even
half.
turn up for a
Half
week and you just get Angel.
all
You
the
got
twos.
this. This is
I'm
all
partial
you.
to thirds, honestly.
You just take the
Too many
week
numbers.
off
Too many numbers for me to
Never,
think about.
never.
and then just just see
70%
what
to the
happens.
6. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but at least when you're looking back here at these compositions for both of these teams, playing this double controller, how do you see this play out so far? For me, it's very hard and very difficult playing
But
around.
you can
like
play
this,
you
this
can play
single
simple.
initiator,
You can
at
play
least
simple
on the
Valorant
defender
with
half to try to get
with like a
information
free
into
duelist
the late
or maybe
rounds,
like a
into
4
the mid rounds,
duelist.
because there's really only that sky. How do you rotate players across? And for the
I
rest,
reckon you
it's
just
okay, well,
see
if
what he's
it's
got,
not
man.
gonna
I
find
reckon this is the
information
time.
One, get on another part. You're gambling stacks off rotates off information that you're potentially getting or not getting off the sky. And when you're playing against a team that defaults into a double controller,
full
it's
wall
very
comp,
hard to get those
that
correct
would be
reads.
nice.
And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of back and forth here on the defensive side.
It's almost really a mirror comp, except for Heat and Artis. I think that's why you get such an even matchup on these takes. It's kind of a mirror of the utility you'll have
Five
to
walls built
answer
house.
each other, create your own angles, and then it's what can those duelists do? What can they promote? I think for the side of energy, we said that star power is one of the things that plays in big here. If these rounds are coming down to the 1v1s and whatnot, you want the Sam getting the 4Ks, the point where they can gas themselves up into these situations. MIBR has been very lurk oriented in the way they get these kills. It's always very kind of under the radar.
Yeah.
Is the perfect way to say it. That they have the back.
Doombro's
of NRG. So I
VIP.
think if
He
they can
has
provide
one.
that
He
again,
has
they
one
can start to work the
Masters.
map. NRG doesn't have a
That's
chance to
true.
get these highlight frags or double multi kills coming in.
Yeah, and let's talk about that difference between the Heat and Artist. I don't know if you did, Hubert.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just
It
said.
is true.
No, you
in my
did.
ear saying that
I
they're
was
still talking about these
saying
monitors,
numbers about kills. So obviously numbers.
But let's talk about those differences here between Heat and Artist. The op versus the rifle.
You
as
can
well,
still
the type of
luck. You just
entries that you're
people will be
getting on
more aware
Artist
when
so
you
far
type.
versus Heat on the operator from round to round. How do you see this playing out? What's the plus and the minuses for the duelists from both of these teams?
I think with Artists, energy has to be, and this is kind of a plus and a minus, is that energy has the chance to explode onto a site a little bit faster, but I feel like the distance the Raze creates
Man, what has Artist
is a
done
lot
to this
harder
PC?
to catch up, right? If you talk about cutting off the duelists from their team, I feel like that's much easier to do for a Raze and their team than it would be for a Jet. A Jet's going into the smoke and creating chaos.
Duelist
and
has a
still
tab
hitting.
for VIPs.
Raze doesn't really have much
Wait,
to hide
really?
in unless
Well,
that
so you can see
utility
that
is
they're
facilitated
watching.
already. So the fight happens right when the
Mate,
Raze
Twitch
goes in,
is
everybody has to
chat.
be there.
Twitch is
The
wild.
fight with the Jet,
I'm learning
it's a
so
little
much
more
this week. It's
surrounded by the
crazy.
team before Jet pops out of the smoke and plays a Jack in the Box surprise. So that's a big difference. I think that calls upon Artists to really have that first kill potential. Which
What do you mean? How do I not know this? How would I ever know that?
And they've been able to shut down Heat in the other sense of that, where Heat's not getting a lot of those frags we're seeing this time. Still 19 and 20, but usually leading the charge in a lot of these, and Energy's able to shut that down.
Artists for me.
We
at
just
least,
learn
I'd
as
like
we
to
go
see
along.
Potentially, maybe, I'm not the IGL. I'm not how the comms are really going right now here for Energy, but I'd like to see them hold
Yeah,
on
it's
to
true.
these showstoppers a little bit more when they're trying to regain space or gain the space into a map, so
Just to
that
keep it
everybody
up
gets
as pressure.
exactly, and everybody else can keep into positions or
The
get into
downward
positions
slug,
before
dude.
we're
The
able
downward
to
slug
actually
was a one.
resume
Was a
into the
one-off.
post plan. And speaking about resuming, we actually had a chance here to reboot the computer of Artists.
Oh,
So
okay,
going
we're back.
into the game. So
We're actually
thank you so
back.
much, friends here in the Riot Arena, for your patience. I saw a couple of you do the
That's
wave
so
right
unlucky. Okay.
They're ready, gassing themselves up in the tech pauses. You gotta
It
love it.
can't be a
Ready
one-off.
for a
What do you
third
mean?
map potentially, because I heard a lot of
yeah.
NRG fans in there hoping for
Okay.
this third map to happen, and it's almost there.
Another
Map
chance
point
for
now
NRG in this
for
one.
NRG 14-13.
This setup has been rock solid for Energy. They play it every time.
You said what'd you say? Was rock solid for Energy?
Oh,
rock
man.
solid, yeah. Every time.
What's going on here?
I think we actually might get a tech here.
Damn,
as we
what's
did see the
actually
play
gone on
wasn't
here?
According to Artists on his screen, they're going to be looking back to QA, so we'll get another quick pause. Fans, you cursed it.
Yeah.
You absolutely trolled everybody.
I think I was Gucci. We podcasted getting ready here
Hey,
into
it's
the
always
map, but
Artists.
unfortunately, yes. Everybody's just trying to figure out, can you spot the differences on that rooster of that B-Link door?
Can you?
Why is it always Artists?
They're the same, by the way.
Yeah, so we'll wait and see what we currently have here as soon as we get the updates for you here, chat and audience, to let you know when we could actually get back into the game. But again, this
30
is going to be a
seconds
little bit
left.
unfortunate, though. You're looking at the early rounds where it was a very slow start for MIBR. Once again, another one of those slow default rounds, and then an explosion into the B-Link that could indicate a lean towards a mid-hit. But now, that could potentially be one strat that's just out the window.
Right, you play that, you hope to be able to make it work, and everybody's on the same page. I think it's the do we run it again kind of potential. Yeah, I think they do. I think they do. It's a solid start looking for the 1v1, and you can play it anywhere else on the map. Just for a quick idea, we are going to get that round replayed, so they're just going ahead, resetting it. We're going to get back in, no problemo for this one. Just a little bit more of a wait.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you
not
so
sure
much
it's
for
gonna
your
be a fast
patience
one,
online
honestly.
and here in-house. But yeah,
Could you
looking at how
imagine they
that works,
restarted the whole
it's
map
the
from the
1v1
start?
fight,
Oh
so they
my
can go to look
goodness.
for it anywhere. I don't think we get these orb fights for long, right? Nobody wants the orb, but that is a place you can fight for 1v1. It just
You're right, it
becomes
would be
more of
mad.
this. Everybody's piled up. I think the corners favor the side of NRG when you're getting that A fight. You have the box to hide behind and a few more angles. So maybe the mid fight happens again, or MIBR does their we're rushing out long B. Give me a quad swing by everybody and see who will give us the first peek. It hasn't been Victor. Victor's staying back on his util. They keep that wall up and just make sure that they can clear. And I like the way that Energy's been coming back in to clear. They don't take front side of Hall. They take back side of Hall when their B wall is up on defense. And they're able to kind of hit more of a two-pronged attack.
This must
on
be
it. I think
frustrating as
that's why
hell.
MIBR as well. MIBR has been such having such trouble, words are hard, at that B site post plant.
Now for MIBR, you're looking, you talked about the pushes towards mid, the work towards long B, the explosion towards long B, and not too much talking about the A side.
Plays better when he's annoyed,
in terms
yeah.
of like the early rounds for NRG, especially on defense. When
Nah, it's just the map, Polo.
The high
It's
tide,
honestly
rather,
just the map.
and the guided light, trying to push a triple play from NRG on that side of the extremity. They've been very, very resourceful and successful at not only winning the gunfights, but also orb control. So maybe that's one of the things that MIBR is like, okay, let's try to forfeit that a little bit more into our early game, into our early plans, and maybe try to finally, once they find the opportunity to work back towards the A side, add that extra piece coming out from one of these timeouts, definitely not tech pauses, but one of these timeouts here that could be called out from Maurice and from BZK to make sure that you can try to capitalize on NRG's aggressions on these extremities.
MIBR has played 3-1-1.
All right.
Whether that's 3 towards A or 3 towards
That's some
B,
concentration.
leaving
Looks like we're
FRZ
getting back into it.
and Maurice on the flank. We're going to be diving back into this one.
Yep.
Straight in.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long upload.
If you're just joining us,
You're not
it
wrong.
is second overtime here. Possible game point.
Might
for
have to
NRG.
wait until
Definitely
tomorrow
give
for that one.
yourselves a round of applause here, chat, and also to the audience for your patience. As now, once again, we're restarting things, resuming things with NRG back at map point.
Straight up B, but they're still going for this thing where they're trying to just, when they first go through, trying to deny that, they have to try hit again. Early dog over towards middle, so they take a lot of mid control, and they spot one. Ping goes out.
Towards the B side.
NRG with that mid control.
Yeah, this is a
right
big
off the
question
bat.
mark at the moment for MIBR.
You guys saw Trailblazer almost go all the way into spawn and spot out FRZ, but I don't think they actually got a catch. That's definitely aware that somebody is in B shops. This is really first time Artis is being the one committing to a site here. Usually that's Maurice. Artis is not floating on this one. He's gonna choose B.
I love as well from MIBR. Yes, you had to that got spotted towards B shots. But they had two
MIBR
players
are just
watching
waiting
the
for the
plane.
last
And while
15
Maurice actually
seconds.
got picked
It's
off
where they always
by,
win the
or at
round.
least a guided light to give his position away, you still had FRZ at the top, leaning forwards towards the top of Plaza to hopefully catch somebody off guard. But now that they realize that there's no pressure
They've
coming in
taken
here
a
towards
long
that
time,
mid-side,
and there's
that's an
still
opportunity
all
for
of the
Leaper.
util here to
That
deny.
Sendo with 35 seconds left, running into
That's
the site.
perfect
The
at the
dash
moment.
to an
How do they get
Grease
through
heat by
this?
spraying across, but the snake bite evens up the tally on a 4 versus 4. 30 seconds left. Everybody's forced
You
to
have a
fall
dog,
back.
you have a
Re-heal
flash.
and re-hit for MIBR towards this B site.
Wow.
4v3.
Sprays across the end. Artist falls.
Got a code for this?
But we still have at least
Code,
some players
15
inside
seconds.
The site. Some moving towards the back end.
Delay.
10 seconds left on the clock. The flash.
There's
It does
no
not connect
way.
here
Keep
onto
an eye. They have to
JZZ.
plant.
MIBR
You gotta
still
plant.
has something left to stay. They still have some grit. They still have some fight.
Jesus, they're
We're going
crazy.
into
I
another
don't know
round
what
of
it is.
overtime.
Last 15 seconds, they just
Need
get
to plant the
insane.
spike that
Like they just hit
time,
every shot.
Pushing through the site and almost in a solo scaling formation, right? One back.
Yeah, I mean, they
calls,
didn't need
another
to plant,
pushing,
you got it
knowing that
right.
They just had numbers up, confidence in each other to get the
No need
anchor.
to plant when you kill
After
everyone with
MIBR
6
had dumped all
seconds
that,
left to
Utah
go.
came down to the accuracy and they came out on top. Here Maurice just pushing forward after those walls fall. JZZ on back haul as well. We just mentioned those two members. Still able to bring up big frags. 14-14.
All right, let's
Vasily,
go
and
again.
we go OT once again.
Yeah.
Mid control now for NRG. No pushes. I thought we were going to see MIBR push out towards A main here. They may still choose to do so.
Yeah, I
It's
like
just gonna be a
that. That's what I was
trailblazer to
saying,
check
Jim Bros.
and
I
get
like it.
info on the map. They feel like they don't know.
It's
what
really
enough-
good on.
enough
I'm
of
not
what's
entirely
going on.
sure, but
Cautious
you might
about
be
it,
able
right?
to
They
get
keep pushing,
satchels
though.
from heaven
So
as well,
using that to
like
get the
nade from
extremities, as
heaven.
you were talking
Satchel will
about.
go out and you just
So you
constantly delay
definitely
the
see
whole
it from
time.
that radar. Jiggle
I like
peaks
the
coming out
raise.
from Maurice. Meanwhile, though, Finesse rotated back from Art onto the top of Plaza and heard that Trailblazer on the other end. So they're like, okay, well, the flash is
Okay.
on the other end towards the
Who would have
east
thought
side.
the NRG are
Less
going for
utility
another
now
B?
for
What the
MIBR
hell is
towards
going on
B
with that
to try to
flash?
stop any type of pushes that we could do here towards the B site. But it's heat glass cannon.
Yeah, that op ringing out. Forced to push out of the site. Great little bounce on the molly, and now they're going to have to retake fully here. 5v5.
Oh, the timing on that one.
Oh, and we dashed into the wall.
Let's run into the wall.
God damn.
And Artist runs him over. Now here comes the boombot towards the spawn. just to see and
I
spot
found this.
another player
Do you know what I
to
found
work on, and
really
it's
weird
all
about
players
this
of
round?
MIBR looking for
Like
the
really,
high-low.
really
A
weird.
big play off the
They
flashes
had
once
their
again
defensive
from
wall up
JZZ.
the whole time when it
Artis is
felt like
blind,
surely he would
forced to
want
fall
some
back.
kind of
There's
vision
only
of
one
this.
player playing towards the back of the site, and it's an assist for a flash to allow Son to move forward. A good look so far on NRG for a post plant. High
Yeah,
tide
and they
about to
can't
come
lose it.
down. Artis with a third, allowing NRG to get the third into the round. Only one left. And it's
Holy
Son
hell.
putting NRG back at that point.
Almost a flawless as well.
Switching sides.
NRG saw the op. I feel like they
No
punished
one's
the op,
getting
right?
a
Well, we
defense
did see
round,
Heat smashing
ever.
his face into a wall on
We're
accident on
just,
that
chat, we're
dash.
just hearing
The
just an
amount of
infinite
space
loop.
NRG
This
took
is
as
it.
soon as they heard that first op shot. Again,
This is where we are,
deplete
just
what
forever.
Heat can do from that range.
Yes.
We a broken record, but it's how Crew really started to take Heat down as well. NRG's
Yeah,
identified it, and they keep
I
doing
really
it
didn't
when they
understand
can.
that
Now
round from
onto
MIBR.
defense, it's
Blocking
up to
vision the
NRG
whole time when they
to
had the
stop the
op was
aggression of Heat,
was
the
the
team
first
who went back
contact,
to
so
the
it just
Vandal
meant that they
fight.
could get up close.
This
Then
big
it's also
play,
like what the
once again
third
for
round in a row in
1v1, a
overtime that
quick
they've just
one-way
hit B
will
just
stop
simply.
it for now. But this is just a rotation back to site now for NRG. No early
Yet
fight,
still only
so
one
they go
person
for
there.
quick and easy fundamental site holds.
Even on the A side, it seemed like we pushed forward to grab the ore for Artis, so denying that one on the attack, anything for MIBR. Three players re-aggressing towards A long,
Ooh.
giving up all
That's
of the
kinda good
connector,
info,
all of
though.
the A site.
Blinded.
Trying to fight against FRZ, who does get the wall bang through the wall, but Som's around the corner.
Oh, that's
And there's that
massive.
first
This
blood.
might be it.
An advantage
This
for
might be
NRG that
it.
could come huge.
One
We
extra
talked
kill
about
for
the
him,
space
he
that
gets
was
all.
forfeited towards the A site, now gained towards middle for MIBR as they're looking for a 2-2 split.
Just end it.
Call for
Honestly,
two.
I'm so fine to end
It's a
this.
big defense for those. All up to Crashies and Victor now, unless the team can get here in time.
Cascade, Jiggle Pig, Victor now snake bite on the ground. Dash
Ah, they
coming
got
in
too
from
many
Heat.
people here.
An assist potentially
Yeah,
coming
it's
across.
done.
Support
One
from the
enemy
end. It's going to be Artis at the
Spike
top.
down.
Only one kill needed. It's Maurice at the bottom.
Damn, nicely done.
Still to the kill.
Holy hell, this is crazy. Okay, we go to a third map.
And we are going to
Finally
a third
over.
map.
Chat, I'm gonna put a disclaimer on my
That is
YouTube.
a
I'm gonna have it as my
sigh
thumbnail,
of
and it's just gonna say
relief
"Don't
from
watch."
NRG.
That
The
was
entire team
awful,
coming
man.
together there at the end. Artis being able to pop off as well to bring us to a third map, to bring us to split, to decide who's going to take it between these two teams. And they can't have given everything here. That was a long one, but Game 3 is going to ask for even more here at Van Silly.
It's insane. It's intense so far for both of these teams, definitely. It's a long day for both of these teams, and especially for everybody
Yeah,
watching these two series so
it's
far.
definitely
We
that.
saw a great series
Definitely
earlier on today,
that.
but this one right here,
Split should be
promising now a
split.
great
Split should be
third
great.
map coming up
Like I'm
on
in for split.
Both of these teams that we haven't seen too much so far in the Americas
Right.
on this map.
It's going to be awesome.
It's not
I think we
as
have
bad,
to actually
Menace.
see both teams reach
still
deep
not great.
into that strategy back here on the next rounds. And we'll have to see different styles of play. We'll get that operator back on both sides. We'll have to see what Artis picks for and what the teams decide to continue playing here. NRG, we saw them actually from one week to another switch on to a double controller comp. So they're adapting. We've seen the adaptation from MIBR Van Silly, and it's giving us one hell of a series.
One more time, thank you so much for your patience at home in the chat and also here in the Riot Games Arena. Go stretch your legs, go grab some hot water, hydrate, because when we come back, it's going to be another map here on Split.
Okay, chat, you heard him. Let's do all of that, but also spam some ads. I think he said. Right, be right back.